here we go. Yet another episode of Reading with Steve. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. And you'll see I have a few different topics already queued up. I was thinking about reading, I could actually read a few of them today. We'll sort of see how they all work out. Wonders of the World. Copyright, which I'm not sure if I need to go through. This one goes on a little bit, doesn't it? The one I want to read is actually hamburgers, sandwiches, and then beer. I thought that would be kind of fun rather than some of the more academic stuff I've been reading as of late. I guess Wonders of the World isn't so... Yeah, it's a little bit... A lot of lists. A lot of lists in this one, but we can try that. So today with Reading with Steve, we'll talk about the wonders of the world. The Seven Wonders of the World, or the Seven Wonders of the Ancient World, is a widely known list of 7 great buildings or structures from the classical time period. The Seven Wonders of the Ancient World. This is a list put together in the 2nd century BC by Antipater of Sidon, and Philon of Byzantium. This explains why it only lists monuments of the Mediterranean world. There are other slightly different versions. This is the most usual one. First, the Great Pyramid of Giza, Egyptian, the oldest of the wonders, and the only one still standing. Second, Hanging Gardens of Babylon, Babylonian, built by Queen Semiramis or King Nebuchadnezzar II. The exact location of this monument is not known. It was in Mesopotamia. Third, the statue of Zeus at Olympia, Greek, a gigantic statue made of marble and ivory and applied with gold leaf. Fourth, the Temple of Artemis, Greek, in Ephesus, Asia Minor, modern Turkey, on the Aegean Sea. It was burnt down by Herostratus on July 21st, 350 BC. When questioned, he is said to have replied, "To make my name immortal." It was the first known crime committed for fame. Fifth, the Mausoleum of Mausolus, Persian, the tomb of the Anatolian king of that name, built by his widow Artemisia at Halicarnassus, present-day Bodrum, Turkey. Sixth, Colossus of Rhodes, Greek, built to commemorate the raising of the Siege of Rhodes from 304 to 305 BC. At 30 meters, the tallest statue in the ancient world. Seventh, the Lighthouse of Alexandria, Egyptian and Greek. Called the Pharos, this was built for Ptolemy II. About 280 BC. To this day, Pharos is the name for lighthouse in several European languages. Out of those structures, only the Great Pyramid still exists in the 21st century. Most of the wonders were built by the Greeks. Earlier versions listed the walls of Babylon and the palace of Cyrus the Great. 7 Wonders of the Modern World. This version was decided by the American Society of Civil Engineers. 1. Channel Tunnel, England and France. 2. CN Tower, Toronto, Canada. 3. Empire State Building, New York, United States. 4. Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco, United States. 5. Itapu Dam, Brazil, Paraguay. 6. North Sea Protection Works, the Netherlands. 7. The Panama Canal, Panama. The 7 Natural Wonders of the World. There is no single list of 7 natural wonders of the world. One of the many lists was compiled by CNN. The Grand Canyon, the Great Barrier Reef, Harbor of Rio de Janeiro, Mount Everest, Aurora, Paracatan Volcano, and Victoria Falls. The new Seven Wonders of the World was an idea to choose new wonders of the world from a selection of 200 existing monuments. The mission began in 2001 and ended in 2007 with the announcement of the winners. The popularity poll was led by Canadian-Swiss Bernard Weber and organized by the New Seven Wonders Foundation in Zurich, Switzerland. Voting took place through the internet or by telephone. The program caused different reactions from countries and organizations. Some countries praised their finalist and tried to get more people to vote for it. Others criticized the contest or did not think it was very important. Others criticized the contest or did not think it was very important. Among the strongest criticism was from UNESCO, who said in a press release in 2007, "There is no comparison between Mr. Weber's mediatized campaign and the scientific and educational work resulting from the inscription of sites on UNESCO's World Heritage List. The list of the 8 new wonders of the world will be the result of a private undertaking, reflecting only the opinions of those with access to the internet and not the entire world. This initiative cannot, in any significant and sustainable manner, contribute to the preservation of sites elected by this public." The winners: the Great Pyramid of Giza, awarded honorary status; the Great Wall of China; Petra in Jordan; the Colosseum in Rome; Chichen Itza in Yucatan; Machu Picchu in Peru; the Taj Mahal in India; and Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro. Other modern lists. From a variety of modern lists of wonders made by man, some items occur several times. The Taj Mahal in India, the Colosseum in Rome, the Great Wall of China, Stonehenge in England, the only prehistoric site on any list, Machu Picchu in Peru, the Hagia Sophia, one of the many places of worship which might be candidates, and Angkor Wat, Cambodia. This was The Wonders of the World with Reading with Steve. Thanks for listening. Okay, so we'll shut that one down. I'll print it out for later on. You guys have for you folks can to have a look at it later on. Let's take a look at hamburgers. Why not? Might be interesting. It's not very long, so with that, it should go pretty quickly. And today, Reading with Steve, the hamburger. A hamburger, or burger, is an American fast food. It is a type of sandwich with a patty of cooked ground meat between the two halves of a bun. Tomatoes, onions, cheese, salad, and dips may also be added. The hamburger may be eaten without a knife and fork, so it is a fast food which can be eaten anywhere. Hamburgers are named for a city in Germany called Hamburg. They were probably invented in Germany, though what we now know as a hamburger was created in the United States in the 19th century. Hamburgers appeared on menus in England and the United States in the 19th century and became a popular food after the 1904 World's Fair. What is called a hamburger throughout the world today was different than the first German hamburgers. German dishes often involved a steak or sausage between pieces of bread instead of ground meat. Many American fast food restaurants, such as Burger King, Wendy's, and McDonald's, serve hamburgers. A cheeseburger is a hamburger that also has cheese. Hamburgers can be served with other things besides cheese, such as chili. Even though the name has the word ham in it, it doesn't need to have ham. This has been Hamburgers with Reading with Steve. There we go. Second one. Sandwich. Can we do sandwiches? Why not? All right. This is number 3 already. Wow. Today, reading with Steve. Sandwiches. A sandwich is a food prepared by placing different kinds of foods between two pieces of bread. The pieces of bread in a sandwich are referred to as slices or sheets of bread. Between the slices of bread, people often add in vegetables, meat, or cheese. The sandwich is thought to have been made first for the Earl of Sandwich, hence the name. Many people enjoy the sandwich as it is easy and quick to make in a hurry. Also, the sandwich can be easily eaten with one hand without utensils, which allows consumers to have a hand free to do other things. Some people prefer to eat a sandwich with both hands. In many countries, children eat sandwiches for lunch at school. The sandwiches are put in a lunchbox and often wrapped in cling film to keep them fresh. Variations. A sandwich is not limited to a single layer of filling between two pieces of bread. It can have more than one layer of filling and bread. Each layer of filling is commonly referred to as a deck. For instance, a single-decker sandwich would be the standard 2 slices of bread and 1 layer of filling. A double-decker sandwich will have 3 slices of bread with 2 layers of fillings. Generally, 1 apiece is 1 piece of bread cut in 2 with a filling between each piece. The double-decker sandwich is so called because each layer of filling forms a deck, much like a double-decker bus. A club sandwich is a double-decker sandwich with chicken, bacon, and salad. A triple-decker sandwich would consist of 4 slices of bread with 3 layers of fillings. The BLT is a common type of sandwich filled with bacon, lettuce, and tomato. If there is only 1 piece of bread, it is sometimes called an open sandwich. Open sandwiches are very common in Scandinavian countries. For example, in Denmark, the smørrebrød is an open sandwich. Another form of sandwich is the toasted sandwich. The toasted sandwich can be made from slices of toast instead of bread, or the sandwich is toasted whole in an oven or a sandwich presser. Sandwiches made with different types of bread might be given unique names. A panini, for example, is usually a sandwich on a small roll or loaf which is pressed between 2 heavy, heated grilled plates. Sandwiches are commonly made of white bread, brown bread, or French bread, but can also be made of other types. For example, a panini uses ciabatta. Sandwiches can also be called by many other names in different parts of the world, such as grinder, sub, hoagie, and wedge. Types. There are many different types of sandwiches. Examples are cold sheets of bread as a sandwich, heated sheets of bread, a toasty, a breaded bun, a burger, ciabatta, a panini, a long bread, a baguette, a wrap, soft flatbread, peanut butter and jelly sandwich with white bread, peanut butter sandwich with white bread. Fillings. There are many types of fillings that can be placed within a sandwich. These include eggs, ham, ground beef, cheese, chicken, cucumber, ice cream for an ice cream sandwich, toast, peanut butter, jelly, tuna, chocolate spread, and butter. In popular culture. In one episode of The Apprentice, the apprentices were required to make sandwiches for Donald Trump. In the French film Taxi, the protagonist is made a special sandwich with half Bayonne ham, half Paris. This later sparks the jealousy of another character. In the Warner Brothers cartoon Scooby-Doo, Scooby was well known to love making sandwiches, with Shaggy having many layers, often with a great variety of fillings. In the television series Buffy, during episode 61, Buffy eyes a classmate eating a sandwich, snatches it, and hungrily scarfs it down. In the television series Star Trek, Scotty used the word sandwich to refer to the makeup of a piece of technology which was made of 3 layers of 2 materials, which caused the food synthesizer in the galley of the USS Enterprise to believe that he was requesting a meal. Scotty canceled the process by kicking the offending unit. The largest sandwich ever made was made by Wild Woody's Chill and Grill in Roseville, Michigan. It weighed 5,440 pounds. This has been A Sandwich with Reading with Steve. Thanks for listening. All right. We have time for one more. Oh, yeah. Lots of time, I guess. We can do beer. That will sort of take the end of today's episode. All right. Today, on Reading with Steve, beer. Beer is a type of alcoholic drink. It is made with water, hops, barley, types of cereal grains, and types of yeast, a fungus that produces alcohol. A process called fermentation turns sugar into alcohol using yeast. Another product of the fermentation is carbon dioxide. Classification from the type of fermentation. In general, all alcoholic drinks where yeast turns sugar into alcohol are called beer. In these cases, distillation is not used. The difference to wine is that with wine, sugars from plants, such as fruit sugar, or that made by animals, is used. As an example, mead is a wine made from honey. Japanese sake is made from rice and uses yeast for fermentation. So even if some people call it rice wine, sake is really a kind of beer. Making beer. The act of making beer is called brewing. Beer is made by adding warm water to malted barley and other grains. The enzymes in the barley change the malted barley and other grains into simple sugars. This is called the mash. The water is then sparged, drained from the grain. The water is now called wort. The wort is boiled and hops are added. Hops provide flavor and preserve the beer. After boiling, the wort is cooled and the yeast is added. The yeast turns the sugars into alcohol and the wort into beer. Different beers can have different natures, depending on the ingredients used. For example, an ale uses top fermenting yeast. Top fermenting yeasts eat more sugar and produce more alcohol. A lager uses bottom fermenting yeast. Bottom fermenting yeasts eat less sugar and produce a crisper, cleaner taste. Adding hops makes the beer more bitter and aromatic. Specialty malts, different types of cooked barley, produce different flavors and colors. These flavors and colors are most notable in dark beers like porter and stout. Different countries have different ways to make beer. In Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Czech Republic, and Slovakia, beer is usually made from just hops, malt, water, and yeast. This is because of the Reinheitsgebot. The Reinheitsgebot was a law that says beer can only be made from hops, malt, and water. Yeast was discovered after the Reinheitsgebot. The law was overturned by the European Union in 1992. In Belgium, however, beers have always been made with wheat, sugar, fruit, and other ingredients. Different ways to make beer. The type of yeast used determines the kind of beer made. Some kinds of yeast ferment at a higher temperature, usually at 15 to 20 degrees Celsius. The fermentation process is quicker. Other kinds ferment at a lower temperature, usually 4 to 8 degrees Celsius. Beers made with this kind usually have a longer shelf life. Some beers ferment spontaneously from yeast that can be found in the environment. The history of beer. The earliest records of beer were written around 7,000 years ago by the Sumerians. It is said that the Sumerians discovered the fermentation process by accident. It is not known exactly how this happened, but it could be that a piece of bread or grain became wet, and in a short time later, it began to ferment and made a pulp that caused people to become drunk. A seal around 4,000 years old is a Sumerian hymn to Ninkasi, the goddess of brewing. This hymn is also a recipe for making beer. A description of the making of beer on this ancient engraving in the Sumerian language is the earliest account of what is easily recognized as barley, followed by a pictograph of bread being baked, crumbled into water to form a mash, and then made into a drink. That is recorded as having made people feel wonderful and blissful. It could even be possible that bread was first baked to be a way to make beer that is easy to carry around. The Sumerians were probably the first people to brew beer. They had found a divine drink. They felt it was a gift from the gods. The amount of alcohol in beer. Normal beers have around 3 to 5% alcohol. For the volume, i.e., in 100 milliliters of beer, there is 3 to 5 milliliters of alcohol. In brewing beer, the amount of alcohol can be made more or less quite easily. The Belgian types of beer are made by adding more sugar. Through the fermentation, this will then turn to alcohol. Today, there are beers with between 2% and about 16% of alcohol, about the same alcohol content as wine. Spirits can have up to 80% alcohol. Some beer labels say there is no alcohol in them because it was taken out later. This is not completely true, though. Beers without alcohol usually do have less than 1% of alcohol. This has been Reading with Steve. Thanks for listening. All right, so that's 23 minutes broadcasting today. Good enough. I think 4 articles will do. So we did Wonders of the World, we did Hamburgers, we did Sandwiches, we did Beers. Beers, all right. I know this word here. Reinheitsgebot. Reinheitsgebot. No idea. How do you say that? Reinheitsgebot is regulation about the purity of beer. It was regulation started in Ingolstadt in Bavaria in Germany 1516. Oh, that's old. Oh. I see. Oh. If I can get the pronunciation.
Reinheitsgebot.
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 Reinheitsgebot. That's pretty close, wasn't I? Anyway, there you go. That's the purity of beer law regulation instituted in Ingolstadt in Bavaria. Maybe we can do that tomorrow for an episode. All right, folks, thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye-bye.